Let's see why the plasma cutter is one of the best tools you can have in your metal workshop. We need to make one of those from this pipe because we don't have. We need to make one of those. Unfortunately, the battery died. We already made these cuts. We just used that angle and we dragged it across to have a nice cut. We still need to make that cut and one here to make it into that piece. Alright. It's nice to use magnets and maybe some aluminum rod, or can be steel, depends what you like. Aluminum doesn't slip as well, can be a problem, but it also doesn't get affected by magnets. So. Now that the compressor is done with its job, we can start cutting again. Talk a bit. We use a magnet again. As you can see, pipes are usually under tension, so if you cut, especially with the heat, it will start to warp. But also without the heat, it's gonna warp. Nice even pass. Then we are left with this weird piece. In here we did we have a bit of a edge because it flexed up, so the guide we used, as you noticed, there's a nice gap and it's quite thick, so it's hard to push it down. I did start pushing it down more so it can better, but it started to, the nozzle of the plasma cutter started to get away from the metal and made the arc wider, and that's why that happened. But let's make that nicer, because we don't want this round piece. It's good to kick away the slack, or what do you call it, with the hammer. Light taps. Make sure nothing flies into your eye. Glasses are quite beneficial. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. Now we need to get rid of the bend. As you can see, it's quite bendy. Let's make use of this old technique called sticking into stuff and forcing it into other shapes. Just going to use the edge just to give it some initial shape that we want. That side is bending because it's longer than that side, so we're trying to bend. We're trying to stretch that side longer so it will match the other side. As you can see, it's already coming along nicely. We're looking at the high points and we're trying to even them out the opposite way. And as you can see, it's much better already. I didn't even have to use much force. Now we use that motivation stick, and we're going to motivate it to be even better. What we're doing is we're hitting the high points. What that does is it stretches out the metal, which makes it longer, which makes it straighter. There's no use of stretching out the already when we hit them, it's kind of compress and actually flex the other side, hopefully, theoretically, and it should make it longer. So we want to hit the high side to make the low side grow, in a way. There's probably some other terms for that, but that's how it's going to be. Just bang it a little bit. Start to feel it coming along. You don't want to hold that with a lot of force because it's going to bounce through your fingers, just a little bit. A little bit of finger on it is fine. Hardly feel it. We don't need it super straight for our purpose. Just make it a bit better. And here as well. Try not to hit your fingers. It is not the most fun thing to do. Yeah, it will work for us. It still has a bit of a gentle curves and whatnot, but it's mostly straight. You can even test it on that. As you can see, there's a little slightness, but where it goes, we just kind of flex it in, no problem. We're going to have to make that cut here. As you can tell, it's looking quite the same. Just mark the cut. We're not going for an extremely accurate piece here. So just eyeballing it into the same shape is good enough for us at this moment. It's good to use one of those angles, but you get rid of the edge. So when you use it, if you come here, it will be in the way otherwise. But right now it's not an issue. Need to turn my compressor back on. So what we're going to do is just gonna hold the level here and drag it across. Easy. There we go. Bit of angle grinder as well, lightly. It's good. Let's see how that fits into the area we want to put it. Let's see, under there. As you can see, it will go here nicely. And I want it to be smaller edge here and bigger edge down here. That's exactly how I want it. Here we go, because that pipe's not 45 degrees, I want a 45 degrees cut on that. So, that's how you make these weird pieces that you sometimes need. And these are the scraps. You can still use them for something, but we don't have 3mm thick plate. We only have that 6 one, and I don't want to put 6mm there, and I don't have much of the 3, and I don't have much of it left, so I want to save it for things that need thicker material. So yeah, the plasma cutter is a very useful tool. Just don't forget to clean it after every use. Always head down. It's good with air, so brush them so dust doesn't get in here. And yes, bit of early morning metal work.